A mysterious figure lies unconscious but awakens abruptly to find herself encircled by armed robots. Reacting instantly, she opens fire, and the robots retaliate. As more hostile units approach, she readies her high-tech weapon. After taking down several foes, a massive beast-like robot bursts into the warehouse, catching her off guard. The woman, Captain Yun-Yi, contacts her team via radio, demanding the identity of this new threat. A voice from the control room identifies it as the Zimbo, an advanced machine created by the Adrian Republics, equipped with multifunctional capabilities. He warns her that the robot's weak point is at the rear, where an E-type battery powers it, advising her to target that spot. Emerging from cover, Yun-Yi takes aim, but the Zimbo transforms and begins relentlessly tracking her. As she prepares to fire, a swarm of robots intervenes, launching an attack. Undeterred, she eliminates them and fires at the Zimbo, but it absorbs the damage effortlessly. Realizing her attacks are ineffective, she retreats, only to have the Zimbo's thermal sensors detect her hiding place, forcing her into the open again. In the heat of battle, she glances at her hands and freezes. They are mechanical. A slow realization dawns: she is a machine herself. The scene shifts to a lab, where scientists monitor Yun-Yi's performance. They note that she has repeatedly failed the same simulation. Dr. Yun, the team leader, arrives to review her combat abilities. While a technician insists they stick to their methods, Dr. Yun mentions an upcoming presentation and leaves. The team begins repairs, preparing Yun-Yi for another trial. In the next scene, the lab hosts a formal presentation. Director Kim Sang-hoon introduces Cronid, a robotics company, to a group of officials. A video explains how, due to severe climate change and pollution, humanity abandoned Earth in 2135 and now resides in a space settlement called the Adrian Republics. It highlights the ongoing civil wars in the colonies, fought between humans and robots, stressing the need for humanoid robots to restore order. Director Kim reveals that Cronid's combat AI models are based on Captain Yun-Yi, with her likeness replicated in future prototypes. He then shares a tragic truth: Dr. Yun's mother, Yun-Yi, fell into a coma during a mission against rogue robots. Dr. Yun hopes to use her mother's combat experience to develop an AI that could end the civil war. When a military official questions the AI's potential, Dr. Yun reassures him of its success but struggles with the emotional burden of knowing her mother's mind is trapped in a simulation. Back in the lab, the robotic Yun-Yi awakens and reacts in horror upon realizing her body is mechanical. She pleads for answers, but Dr. Yun lowers the robot's power output and explains the situation. Overwhelmed by guilt, Dr. Yun shuts the robot down and orders the team to remove her mother's brain from the system. A technician expresses admiration for Yun-Yi's combat skills, wanting to continue the project. Dr. Yun shares a painful memory. Her mother became a mercenary to afford treatment for a lung tumor. She recalls fearing her mother's death in battle and regrets the lost time they could have spent together. In a flashback, Dr. Yun remembers being told her mother had only 3 months to live. To preserve her consciousness, they were given 3 options: Type A bodies with full human rights, Type B with limited mind access, and Type C, which allowed third-party control. The team resumes work on Yun-Yi's robot, but Director Kim intervenes, demanding a new approach. He orders the technicians to shoot the robot's leg. Dr. Yun hesitates, but a technician fires, causing the robot to stumble as the simulation restarts. Yun-Yi fights fiercely but is shot in the head, failing once more. Director Kim reviews the data, noting a part of Yun-Yi's brain activated during the fight. He schedules a meeting to discuss the findings. Later, at Cronid headquarters, Managing Director Lee Se-yun informs Kim that the chairman has decided to terminate the project. Dr. Yun is devastated but is told that brain replication is no longer viable, and the company must pivot to domestic or recreational AI for profit. Refusing to abandon her mother's legacy, Dr. Yun secretly reactivates Yun-Yi's robot. She shares a tender moment with her mother's consciousness, assuring her that her daughter is alive and well. Yun-Yi recalls a doll her daughter gave her before surgery, lamenting that she lost it on the battlefield. Moments later, the robot powers down, and Dr. Yun is left weeping over the remnants of her mother's love. In a final act of defiance, Dr. Yun uploads her mother's brain into a combat AI and prepares for escape. The alarm is triggered, and robotic enforcers are sent to intercept them. Yun Yi's AI fights through the facility, encountering and destroying several prototypes modeled after herself. During a confrontation, Dr. Yun intervenes to save her mother's AI from capture. Reaching the rooftop, they board a train but are ambushed by Director Kim. In the ensuing battle, it is revealed that Kim himself is a robotic duplicate, created by the chairman. Yun Yi's AI engages him in a brutal fight, ultimately emerging victorious. However, more robotic enforcers close in, determined to capture her. In the final clash, the train derails. Gravely injured, Dr. Yun urges her mother's AI to escape. In a tearful farewell, Yun Yi embraces her daughter before vanishing into the night. As the train pulls away, Dr. Yun whispers, "Goodbye, Mom," knowing that her mother's spirit is finally free.